We learned how government worked in elementary school. 3 equal branches with power shared, so no one branch could become too powerful. But the devil and the last 238 years of American history have been in the details. A new understanding of the limits of presidential power could come soon if the Supreme Court decides to take up the case of President Trump's firing of independent agency workers, despite Congress detailing how those terminations should be done. To help sort this out, we turn to CBS legal contributor Jessica Levinson. Jessica, we'll start with my traditional question, which is, what is the nature of this particular power struggle? And help us understand, it may not go to the Supreme Court, but the president would like it to.
The president would like it to because, John, we're going to see this pattern, meaning we're going to see the president of the United States take an action that either transgresses norms or seems to transgress applicable Supreme Court precedent, which is happening in this case, firing the head of the Office of Special Counsel. And then we're going to see a lower court judge say, I'm stuck with a statute, I'm stuck with precedent. I've got to tell you, Mr. President, you can't do that. And then the administration will, as they're doing now, could run to the Supreme Court and say, stop this immediately. And my embrace of executive authority is actually appropriate. And this Supreme Court is your moment to overturn old precedent and say the executive branch is very powerful. And that's essentially what's happening here.
And is the court going to be looking at a statute, or are they going to be saying, wait, you've jumped outside what the Constitution says, or is the answer yes?
You're doing my job for me. The answer is yes, in the sense that we're talking about a statute where it says that for the director of the Office of Special Counsel to be fired, you need to essentially point to some job performance issue. And in this case, he said, I was fired. Nothing in the email says there's any problem with my job performance. But the question is whether or not statutes like that are permissible under the Constitution. There's a very old Supreme Court case back to 1935 that says Congress can try to insulate the heads of certain executive agencies, particularly multi-member agencies where there's a partisan split. But we have seen recently this Supreme Court start to embrace a much broader view of executive authority, and that old 1935 case could be on the chopping block.